to make it authentico, is there any chance you could pull up music on the
Yeah,
on? Oh wait, no, but you're no, that'll still work though, right? If you do it from your phone. Okay.
I think so. We'll see. I'll figure it
Okay. So, um, sorry ahead of time, Pierce, if this is unuploadable because of how jank it is, but
I don't care.
I'm assuming the mic quality is probably better than what I use at home anyway. So,
out.
um, where
It
we
actually
last
is.
Yeah.
that's really sad for me. Um, where we last left off, um, your group was locked into a very um, grueling encounter with um, some representatives of the Queen of Brightwater who were enacting an edict by Oswald Beaumont to try to evict your group from the Sea of Swords. Um, you were fighting them off. Things were not going your way, and in a selfless and uh, desperate act, Samugi um, donned the crown of the black sky, um, fully taking on the persona of King Chedong and allowing your group a distraction by which to escape. Um, King Chedong and the um, Oni that he summoned made short work of the what was left of the Queen's regiment. Um, while Sandara slipped away, um, in the melee, your friend Varric was downed and died. You had all had to reach out to Alara and gone through the process of assisting her with a resurrection ritual. So, as we begin, we are starting in the aftermath of said ritual, as well as um, what's left of the Sea of Swords as you've all repelled this first wave. So for now, it's just going to be Cass and Sandara. Um, it's still going to be the night of. We haven't had a chance for a full long rest. So I'll let you guys start. What are you all doing?
Probably gathered amongst the Sea of Swords. I would imagine down on the base floor. Um,
Okay. You would notice that the Sea of Swords, their numbers are looking like they've dwindled a lot.
well, that was terrible. Um, if that was just the first of it, I think we're gonna have to be a lot more creative.
Do we know when the next attack is coming?
I don't think so. If I were them, I would just keep on going until
Yeah,
we cave.
just come back tomorrow and yeah.
We need we need a we need to get a defense here, and never mind. I'm not even going to suggest it.
Suggest what?
I was thinking maybe if something was threatening Beaumont's something of his, that he could be pressured to help, um, but that might be too complicated. Say if the factory were to get demolished, something like that.
I do love demolishing factories.
We we've tried to do it twice. We've kind of done it once. I, you know,
I mean, we've been doing it we've planned for it in a way where we're trying to protect
These holes come through.
innocent lives, which very reasonable thing to do, but I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe we just
besides that, we gotta go find Samugi. Um, he's kind of
yeah.
a problem.
I mean, I presume he's going back to the Hongul region, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
But Alara's saying that we need a wish spell.
Cass just cocks an eyebrow.
Sandara squints her eyebrows back. And we don't even know if the Hongul people are going to be receptive to us just showing up.
Well, I don't see. The thing is, I don't know. How much does Cass know about the Hongul dynasty? I don't think it's very much, but
Well, you are a jack of all trades,
yeah.
so go ahead and give me a history check.
Nat 26, natural 20.
So you don't know. Well, funnily enough, um, by prior relations that you've had, you dated a couple Hangul majors in Bard College, just because you had a
Okay.
type. Um,
Gnomes, apparently.
so yeah, you actually weirdly know a decent amount about the dynasty. Um, so I'll give you this. And this knowledge comes twofold. So anything you want to know about like the actual like structure of the government and like the general culture, weirdly you've got like an academics or an academic understanding of how it works.
All
Um,
Cass is interested in knowing is if the Hongul people, as they are today, are connected strongly to the old empire, or if it's sort of like a thing of the
well,
past.
so that's what I was getting at, is that it is split.
Okay.
So there is kind of an older generation that basically has a more imperialistic um, mentality, in that basically the ultimate dynasty is like all of Karsus,
Okay.
where basically these gnomes that historically have been oppressed by the various barbarian tribes kind of rose up, united, subjugated all of them, and then right as they were about to extend their rule beyond the borders of Koza, their leader suddenly disappears and everything gets kind of put on the back burner. Now, with that being said, there is also a push, especially with the younger generation, to open their borders to a cultural exchange with the South and kind of embrace a lot of the Southern cultures and practices. Um, Furthermore, so there is like active like rebellion against the um, essentially like the monarchy of the Hongul dynasty, especially as it's essentially been seen as like being a monarchy without a monarch, where you've essentially had like um, a surrogate that's been acting as like a steward of the throne, all claiming that like, hey, the king's still here and everything's good, um, which people were saying is bullshit. Now, obviously, as you can imagine, this gets more complicated if the king returns, and you imagine that would kind of kick up a pretty big sense of like nationalism towards the old guard. Now, I will say the other thing that you would know about the Hangul dynasty, um, because the resources in Koza are so different than that seen in the rest of Karsus. As you can imagine, um, a lot of those resources are highly sought after from the south, and there's not open trade between these factions. So there's actually a pretty close connection between the Knight's Take of the south and Hangul smugglers of the north, because there's a very um, lucrative relationship to be made um, from those trying to smuggle materials out of Koza.
So that's. I know what the Knight's Take is, but I don't think we do. We know that that's a smuggling or an organization. All we've heard of is the. Oh God, what were they called? The people out of New Callum.
I'm so sorry. I'm totally mixing up my campaigns. The Under Tavern.
That's. I was just watching the old campaign. That's so weird that.
Yeah. That was a brain fart on my end. The Under Tavern.
Okay. So, Sandara, I think if we really want to act quick, we can maybe capitalize on something up north. Maybe as representatives of New Callum, maybe. Otherwise, it's pretty volatile.
I mean, volatile is kind of all of the stuff that we do, so whatever you think is best, I will support.
I think right now we should probably rest while we can and prepare to fight in the morning and do this all over again, unless we I don't know.
I mean, if we fight in the morning, are we? Whatever. Yeah.
Is there something else you?
No, it just feels like. I mean, we barely made it out of the last fight, and I don't know. It just seems like we don't really have a good plan. Just fight every day until the city falls.
Okay, why don't we go blow up the factory?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, let's do it. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. That could pressure Oswald to call off something, because I think he's doing this too, right? Like this is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's mainly him. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Him and the queen. Cool. All right, I'm going back to the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you back to the ship.
Okay. And I presume that's how we're spending the rest of our evening?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so as you head back to the ship, you notice that it's docked out in the port. You notice that it looks a little battle worn. There's some you didn't have any of the dark plate armor on it because it was, acting as a new ship. But there's some like scarring on the side of the ship. It looks like it was kind of grazed by some cannon fire. And it looks like the one area on like one of the flanks of the ship has been like singed, like some spellcaster was trying to throw some kind of like fire spell at it with no real effect. Um, As you um, uh, begin walking up, you see Liam, or sorry, Leland. He's got this huge, like, bloody gash, like on the side of his bald head. That's just like this gaping wound that's just like slowly oozing. It looks like most of it's kind of clotted over. Um, as just kind of looks over you all. Like one eye is like almost like swollen a little bit shut, and he just goes, "Captain, Captain."
Ooh, uh, you should get that checked out when you can.
Looks like you saw some action.
It, what now? Oh, it's just took a stray. It's nothing. It's a little flesh wound.
Yeah, I can see fat poking out. Please, like,
Yeah.
I'll do it in the morning.
If you say so, Captain. I scar easy.
Any casualties of the crew in this fight?
What
Mm.
kind?
Not the goblins.
No.
Okay, cool. It's good to hear.
And
How
the
much
ship
ammunition?
is
How much
doing
ammunition
okay?
do we have left?
He kind of looks over and just goes, Briggs, what was the last count? And Briggs just kind of looks over and just goes, about half, boss. He says, you heard the man. He says half.
We can, you know what? Hey, Briggs. I'm gonna go walk over to Briggs. I might have a more proactive role for your goblins tomorrow.
There's no response, but there's just this huge Grinch-like smile that creeps along his face. And he just starts doing like a slow kind of Jack Nicholson nod.
So, if you want to, pack them extra tight for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, good talk, Briggs.
Yeah. As you turn around, you just hear him just go, hope no one's doing any cavity checks.
Oh god. Don't make me feel bad.
Don't think about the goblins. They're not people.
Nope. Going to bed, pushing bad thoughts out of my head.
The path to a better world is paved with the blood of
Young
goblin
goblins.
children.
The goblin babies.
Okay. So with that, you all go to bed for a long rest. Pierce, I assume you're in the captain's quarters?
Um, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Is Dunsparrow still on the ship, or has she gone away?
Yeah, Dunster will be on the ship.
Okay. I just make sure she didn't fucking vanish in the night.
As she is wont to do.
Okay. So Cass, you and Dunsparrow, she looks pretty untouched for the most part. She was with the crew. She tells you a little bit more about what happened on their end. It definitely seems like this was a two-pronged attack where they basically had like an elite squad attack by air with just kind of more uh, kind of like a larger but less elite force attacking just like directly by ground. Um, yeah, she seems like she's doing well.
Okay. Yeah, Cass just makes very short, polite small talk. He's not too keen on talking right now.
Um, well, as best as she can, she's going to attempt to try to comfort you because she heard about what happened with Varric. And I assume after some time you'll be able to accomplish some kind of rest.
Hmm.
Yet do not make the changes for a long rest just yet, Cass.
Wish you would have told me that 5 seconds ago, but it's okay. I remember what my health was.
Okay. Um, I'm going to say you wake to the sounds of the creaking of wood in your room.
Hand goes for the precursor under the pillow instantly.
You see a glint of metal as there's this kind of like this very slender form that you see at the window that just like unsheathes a blade like a dagger, tosses it in the air, catches it by the blade end, and just like holds it up at the chest, like ready to just like chuck it at you if you make a move. And it does so silently. You notice that the creaking that you heard came from a little bit closer to you. You see a tiny, what looks like a gnome, with like a little walking stick with the one hand behind the back that's just like slowly pacing across the room.
If you're here for Samugi, I don't know where he is.
No, I'm here for you, actually.
Hi. Who are you?
Well, we've met one more time. I made you a little something. I think we follow in the footsteps of the Drifter.
Oh, you, God, I can't get the name Spinelli out of my head.
Wrong campaign.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you made the loot, or I returned it to. Why are you in my room in the middle of the night?
Well, I thought it prudent for us to have a chat about what's been going on in the town.
Right. Okay. I sit up slowly.
Perhaps we can take a walk so that we don't disturb your friend.
I'm going to move my hand out from under the pillow, and there will be a gun. Don't kill me. I slowly get up off the bed and just throw on a nightgown.
You watch as he just like hobbles his way over to the door and open it and just makes his way out. You watch as that figure, that like hooded figure at the windowsill, just like nods for you to follow him.
And I stop for just like a heartbeat and try to get as much information about their appearance, and then follow.
Give me a perception check.
Ooh, not good. 10.
And I assume you're not necessarily being subtle about trying to ascertain details.
No, Cass stops like right in front of them and turns and like eyes them up and down, and then
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage then.
20.
Natural.
No, unnatural.
Okay. So as you try to peek, you almost have to like bend down because they're kind of slinking down a little bit. You can see that they're wearing like almost like charcoal colored leathers with straps and various like tiny pouches and daggers. Like this person is decked out like a professional thief.
Yeah.
In fact, you saw a very similar form when you recently prayed to the traveler and were answered by a similarly
Is it tabaxi?
clad thief. I will say you do notice a couple things. First off, as you kind of obviously like tilt your head down to try to ascertain details, there's this odd phenomenon where their appearance is literally almost like just becomes camouflaged and completely obscured in a way that just like makes no sense. Yet at the angle that you're looking, there's just the slightest bit of moonlight that's cast across like the side of the face, and you do see two um, kind of greenish um, feline eyes peeking out from under this black hood.
I just give him a smile and a nod. Satisfied. I follow.
They'll kind of, you don't hear anything, but as you turn to close the door, you see that that individual like slinks out right behind you and closes the door as well, and then like walks out in front of you before you get a better chance to see any more details. And then immediately just like a cat, just like effortlessly bounds up from the like where you're at, like up a story to like a perch above.
Okay.
And you see old man Restore a couple paces ahead of you, just kind of pacing and kind of making his way over to the side of the ship to look up at the moon.
I spoke to the god of that. Pretty scary.
It seems that your group has been getting involved in very interesting people.
Mostly unintentionally, yes.
Well, I can't help but wonder if you brought this Beaumont back upon us, and I think about this, Cass. This troubles me.
Um, Sir, if there is anybody responsible in this city for bringing Beaumont back, it is me. Um, sure, I could argue Faraday is the one who resurrected him, and he's squarely at fault. And if you have any qualms, maybe you should put all your effort into
You see him just
killing
hold
him.
his hand up.
Yep.
Accountability is good. I like an honest man. Now, I look at you and I think, what could I use this person for? What use do they have for me? You cause a lot of problems, sure, but something tells me that maybe the one that makes the problems could also be the solution.
I have been known to be a useful tool to people.
Well, I'll confide something in you, Cass. Beaumont being back in town is bad for business. Very troublesome to have a man of that ego in a position of power. With the Queen of Brightwater backing him, this spells out a lot of trouble for my organization. Yet, what bothers me even more is you harboring the king of the Hangul dynasty and returning him to the throne.
Life has been crazy the last couple months. Listen, we didn't know Samugi, as we knew him, was King Chedong. We got into a fight where death was pretty certain, and he made a decision.
He just kind of slowly nods and then kind of chuckles under his breath. And you watch as he just like looks up behind him. And as you look up, you notice there are about 12 like hooded and masked gnomes
Okay.
that are like hanging up on like masts of your ship. And you watch as like one of them is like hung upside down with his foot like tangled around the mast as he's holding like um what looks like a like a rifle, but it's got this weird attachment to the barrel of it that extends out like another full foot. That's just like this clunky thing. And he just looks at you and just goes, "No, I've got the benefit of wisdom, but the old Restore family in situations like these, things get confusing. We just kill everybody. But as I said, perhaps you and I can come to some different agreement, yes?"
I assure you, Mr. Restore. And Cass takes a deep breath and turns into him. I can be very useful to a lot of people.
He just kind of slowly nods and says, "Beaumont, we can hold off. Perhaps you can relay my blessing to the Queen of the Sea of Swords. We can get some heat off of her, allow her to rebuild."
Okay,
"Can you do that for me, young man?"
of course.
And then this leaves us the problem up north. I assume you have some kind of plan to deal with your friend?
We have a very easy way to track Samugi, and we planned on dealing with Beaumont, but if that is comfortably within your means, we can go north immediately.
Oh, it's within my means, but it doesn't mean that it's my job. I said I can hold him off. Handling Beaumont is an expensive endeavor that is not in the interest of the family for now. So if that's a route you wish to go, you'll be doing so alone. What I can do is buy you some time. Buy your organization some time. Time that you don't have.
Okay, how much?
He just kind of like looks back up, looks back at you, and says, "Well, I guess it depends."
I turn back into guess. What? Listen, you've got me here. What do you need from me? What do you want from me, rather? I want to be on your side with this. Your organization has helped us in the past, helped us get our footing, and I think personally we can bring a lot to this city in terms of revenue and sort of traffic and things like that, especially for your. What do you need from me?
I'd like you and your friends to go north, and I'd like you to handle this new king. The trade routes between our organization and the Hangul smugglers cannot be disrupted. This would be very devastating for business and couldn't have come at a worse time. So, that's what I'm offering to you. You deal with your friend, and I'll buy you some time back home. You let me down. Well, son, I don't think you can handle any more problems. Wouldn't you say?
I stick my hand out. It would be a pleasure to make you proud.
He holds his hand out, but he holds out like almost like a fist with a ring on it.
Oh, I'm not above. I will get down on a knee and out my night coat.
Yeah. You got to get like almost into it like a Spider-Man crawl. You got to get pretty low. And as you do, he kind of like grabs your chin with the other hand and just like gently like pats you on the cheek. He just goes, "That's a good boy." And then he just kind of like begins shuffling away. And he goes, "Oh, last thing. From what I've heard about your organization, uh, how do you say the words that have been used to describe you have been, let's say, not subtle, ham-fisted, foolhardy.
But you have
So
heard of
I'm
us.
gonna." He just kind of chuckles and he goes, "Nevertheless, I'm going to have one of my operatives shadow your progress. And if anything, it sounds like you could use the talents of a thief." And he just kind of like snaps in the air um, towards you, Shar.
Shar kind of stalks into the room and makes her presence known and just kind of gives a deferential nod to the Dawn
Yeah.
and
So
introduces herself.
you watch as this tabaxi that you just now notice has made her way up to basically like the top mast of the icebreaker just drops and like lands without making a single sound. Gives a nod to the Dawn, uh, and then he just kind of like hobbles past her, and you watch as all the gnomes just begin to like slowly back away into the shadows, and just turns back towards you, Cass, and just says, "You make me proud. You make the traveler proud." And then turns and begins to step off the ship. At that moment, you watch as uh, Nick begins to walk up out from the like lower stairs of the crew quarters. And as he walks up, he just like his head peeks out and is like level with Old Man Restore. And you watch as Old Man Restore just like puts on this like hat. It's kind of like this semi-broad brimmed like symmetrical straight hat that he just like puts on as he just like kind of tucks his coat and like makes it a little tighter and just like tips his hat to Nick as he walks off. And Nick just smiles, goes, "Oh hey." And then he like looks at you, and then he just gives one of these like,
Uh, cold sweat, as I hope Restore didn't see that. Nick, this is. I'm sorry, what was it again? Towards Shar.
It's it's Shar.
Nick, this is Shar. She will be joining us for a little bit.
"Oh, wow, you're named after a god."
Oh,
Shar
That's
doesn't respond.
sorry. That's like you look like
Nick, could you make sure Shar has a place to sleep tonight?
yeah. Um, there's the brig. We freed that up.
Works for me.
You can have my room. I can sleep in the brig. Um,
Hey, look at that. Such a
slightly-
gentleman, Nick.
I'll just clean it real quick. And he turns around, and you just hear him run downstairs, and then you hear a misstep and a long tumble down some wooden stairs.
Oh, sweet Nick.
So were you you follow the traveler?
Yes, I have. I do deal with some various interests of the family and the traveler, and I've been honing in on a few skills that he finds particularly useful, mostly in the thievery, spying sort of department,
Cool, cool.
recon.
You spoken to him?
Wait, is the traveler who's the traveler?
So you would know that as Cass talks about the traveler, from your standpoint, he is speaking specifically about one of the deities that resides in a pantheon that you are very familiar with called the Dark Six. Um, with the traveler being kind of the main one that you pay homage to, um, being kind of a deity that's based on like trickery, mischief, um, and kind of a big part of like the um, if there was like a religion of the Under Tavern, it would be that of like following the traveler. So from your standpoint, that's what Cassius is talking right now. He's talking about like that deity.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought you were talking about the little gnome guy. Um, have I spoken to the traveler? Do I make contact?
No,
No?
I'd say
Okay.
it's something that, like you know about, but you're not. I imagine Char's not like the most religious.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So then Char would kind
so
of
as this
explain
person
that
tells you
she's,
that,
yeah,
yeah. So as this person tells you that, it seems like he's like really the religious type.
Cass.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't spoken to the traveler particularly, but I am sort of, I guess you could say, gifted in the ways of the traveler.
Good. I look forward to seeing you in action. If you ever want to, give him a message personally, just let me know, and I can let him know whenever. I'm sure Nick will show you to your room. I'm gonna go to mine. I walk to the captain's quarters.
Char just follows the cacophony of that is Nick falling down the stairs.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you follow basically like a trail of blood.
Cool.
And you get to um, you find the room that he's in, and you see that he's basically like making this bed. He's like um, basically got like two ripped rags that he's like stuffed up his nose that are just like soaked in blood. He's like, "Oh, hey, so I tidied it up as much as I could. Sorry about the blood. I don't know if you do pillows or if you kind of just curl up on the whole mound. That was sort of racist, wasn't it? Sorry. I, um, there's
Thank
extra
you,
clothes.
Nick. I will make do with your room.
Okay, there's cups and bowls. So you could do either. And water here. I'll sort of let you figure it out. Is there anything else you need?
I think that'll do it.
Okay, cool. I'm super proud of this room because I got it when I kind of started proving myself within the gang. So I hope it treats me the way that it treats you. And I'll just go off to the break now.
You won't even know that I was here unless you're allergic. Can't do anything about that.
He just kind of like cocks his head like he doesn't really know what you're talking about, and then he just like begins, and then he just like nods with understanding, and then like begins to walk away. So with that, Shar, you're shown to your room. Um, and yeah, everyone can make the changes of a long rest. Um, and morning comes to you. Um, what is everyone doing? You are alerted to the morning by the sounds of sizzling meats and a hot breakfast.
Sandara is going to make a beeline for the dining room and try and order some breakfast from the chef.
Okay. You are greeted um, dispassionately by the maitre d'. Um,
Oh,
he just says, "There's no menu today, just one thing, no substitutions. Do you want it or not?
yes, please.
And are your rude friends coming?
Probably
How many of them?"
2 or 3.
He
Some of
narrows his eyes. He
some of
says,
them are dead. I don't know. It's weird. I'm sorry.
"Well,
We pay the checks.
this is true. I apologize for my crabby attitude, but I was shot at,
Part of being on a warship.
and I did not realize that in my contract there is no stipulation for hazard pay." And he turns around and walks away.
Get that fixed. Cass wakes up with Dunsparrow hopefully being none the wiser of
Yep.
last night,
No,
and
you
then
were able to sneak in, sneak out.
make our way, into breakfast.
Okay. And Shar?
Shar gets up quite early, just as a lap to kind of see what the happenings are on the ship, and eventually makes her way down into the restaurant to join the crew.
Okay. And just are you dressed like full Splinter Cell mode still, or do you like loosen up?
Nah, I'll loosen up a little. I won't have the cloak donned, you know.
Okay. So you don't have like the cloak, but you still got like the Splinter Cell stuff, just like hood down and no like cloak over everything.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Um, so you notice a lot of the crew is just like kind of looking over, like, who the fuck is this? As you're like walking by, because again, you're pretty like decked out with a bunch of blades and things like that. Um, so with that, you make your way. You see Cass, Sandara. Actually, we'll say you and Cass kind of arrive at the same time. He's got Dunsparrow to his side, and she kind of like cocks her head and just goes, "Oh, a new crewmate."
Sparrow, this is Shar. She's a friend of the Traveler. She's coming with
Oh,
us to
like the
help
dog.
find. What? I must have skipped that class. Apparently, she's
The whole
named
thing
after a
between
god,
like
too.
Shar and Saloon, and the whole thing with the town named after Sharsburg. Have you been
Anyway,
There's
down the head?
a
here she is. She looks like she's good at killing. Let's go introduce her to everyone else.
She comes over to you and says, "I love people that are good at killing. You can call me Sparrow."
Shar kind of for the first time like softens her expression and sort of like a respectful like, oh, okay. And it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Shar.
I like her. Well, please come sit with us. Um, and she walks over to Sandara's table.
Good morning, Dunsparrow.
Well, Sandara, how are you doing? Okay.
Oh, people die, people get resurrected, and then you deal with the emotional output of that.
Well, far be it for me to give any advice. But having been in an identical situation with an unnamed family member, I can just say that what helped me in the short term was hurting other people physically.
Wow, that is a technique. Yeah,
And I guess emotionally too.
honestly, I appreciate your openness. Thank you, Dunsparrow.
She nods.
Who is it? Are you? Hi, are you a new crew member?
Oh, Sandara, Shar, Sandara.
Oh, nice to meet you. Sure, like the god.
Exactly.
Oh,
I will be joining you on your quest to deal with your friend Samugi. I'm here on
oh,
behalf of the Ristori family.
oh, from the Under Tavern.
Yes.
When
Are
did that?
That's
When?
correct.
you guys getting pulled over?
No.
No. When did? Okay, okay. Under Taverns. Yeah, that sounds great. Nice to meet you. Welcome. We have breakfast. One thing this time. Normally there's more. Uh, yeah,
What
sure.
is
That's it.
what's on the plate? What is it that Sandara's eating?
So um so she didn't have anything yet, but as you're having this conversation, you watch as this kind of tall, slick back hair, kind of lanky server comes by with this like platinum platter, and he just like with a flourish unveils it, and there is basically like this kind of like egg tart type thing with a almost like a charcuterie style like assortment of breakfast meats that have been like thinly sliced that kind of almost make this blooming flower all around it with like the central just like actual flower in the middle of it that he like puts down at everyone's place except for you, and he just goes, "Oh, I was told there would only be three. Tabaxi. Well, what can I get you, Miss?"
I thought
Is
there was only one thing, John.
Do you have anything that's primarily meat?
Yes. You know, the chef has been trying to break into Tabaxi cuisine. Would you allow him to try his tuna poutine?
That sounds elaborate, but a meal's a meal. Sure, why not?
Great. He will be much excited. And he turns around and like rushes off.
Well, that something has made him happy. He was so angry this morning.
Do you guys eat like this every day?
Actually, there are usually more options. Uh, but yeah, there's a chef on board who is very good and very snippy.
Shar
So
takes
I
out
got
a bag of Leviathan jerky and just kind of starts chewing on it while she waits for her meal.
Works in a pinch. Yeah.
So are you from New Callum or
Are you
somewhere
from
else?
Shar?
Yeah, are you from
I am
Sharpsburg?
I am not from Shar. Where is Shar from? I actually don't remember my own backstory. Help me out here, DM.
Um, so yeah. um, so I mean, you can share whatever you like, but basically, you and your brother were orphaned, um, and um, you were basically born into the Under Tavern, which is not an
Mm.
uncommon story for a lot of Tabaxi. Um, so yeah, you actually don't know exactly where you're from, but yeah, I mean, you basically grew up in kind of traveling from city to city, basically ever since you were like a little coupling with your brother. Um,
Where's the Under Tavern based in?
So it's based in almost every major city except for Brightwater.
Mm. Okay.
So your main area of operation would have actually been in Orphan, but you spent some time in New Callum.
Mm.
And then obviously after the events of what happened with Aoka and Trissandra, you kind of went back to the Under Tavern, and still have had some communications with Aoka, um, but in the meantime have been killing your time by basically like working your way up the ranks, with the Under Tavern alongside your brother.
Mm.
So
So
as they ask where you're from,
Tusandara's,
yeah, you can
yeah,
answer it however you want.
yeah. Tusandara's question, Shar answers. Well, I was born an orphan and essentially born into the Under Tavern, so I don't know if I would say that I have a home, but
Whoa.
yeah, home is wherever I find work and make a living.
That's crazy. Do
So
you
I guess
ever
for now,
like want to not
go
do
ahead.
that? That
Yeah, I think it's what I'm good at, and I like to keep my skills sharp. I get anxious when I relax.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see two individuals begin to peek out of the door that leads to the kitchen. Um, One of them looks like the maitre d', and there's another huge, like orcish figure, wearing a chef's outfit that you haven't seen. They're kind of like making these hush conversations to each other, and the maitre d' like nudges the orc in the ribs and like pushes him forward, and you just hear this as he like walks over to you, and he goes, "Uh, hello there. Uh, I'm the chef, Gordon Remley. I must say I've been a bit of a student of Tabaxian cuisine. I am an amateur when it comes to the complexities of Tabaxi cuisine. So, uh, you know, bear that in mind. But I did try a bit of a twist on the typical tuna poutine by doing a bit of a lamb fat reduction with some cream fraiche, and he like pushes forward this like little platinum. It's almost like this platinum wine goblet that's just got like a spoon in it that is basically like some milled down like raw tuna, basically, with like some cream and spices. I'd be interested to know what you think.
Uh, Char just, without the use of utensils, just kind of holds out her paw and uses a claw to kind of scoop up some of the tuna, selectively just the tuna, and sort of like tosses it up and chucks it in her mouth. It's a little heavy handed on the spices, but it's good tuna.
You see that he just like you can hear his teeth grinding behind his mouth, and you see like his temples just like flex as he clearly goes into like an orcish rage, and just like behind a smile just goes, well, thank you for dining at the Icebreaker. And he turns and walks away. And with that, he just goes, which of you fucking twats spiced the tuna?
so
You
Char
hear
just
him continue to
continues.
yell.
Yeah.
You hear him continue to yell. He goes, you know what we fucking used to do with goblins like you where I come from?
Cass, have you seen Leland around? Or Nick, I guess, but I just wanted to make sure Leland got that giant gash fixed.
no, I haven't seen him. I also can't fix it for him today, even though I said I
I mean,
could. Um, No, I'm sure he's fine. I mean, we got like medics around for.
He's fine. Yeah.
Nick's probably sleeping in. He slept in the brigs, you know.
Oh, why did he sleep in the brig? Did he do something wrong?
I thought we had. I'm pretty sure we have a spare room. I think he was just trying to be like a show of masculinity or something. I don't know.
Yeah, checks out. Yeah, that's very Nick.
One of the
It's-
crewmates walks by and just goes, "No spare rooms, boss. Crew's been growing with all these gobbies around."
Oh,
Ah, the gobbies have rooms now?
Well,
that'll be okay.
we go 16 to a room, but it's like they're fucking multiplying.
I don't want to think about it. Never mind. You guys deal with it however you're already dealing with it.
Thought
Well, I
we had
mean,
five.
Just
we're already doing a 16 to 1 ratio, and apparently there's ordinances to consider and violations and whatnot.
should we stop hiring gobbies, maybe?
Well, we're gonna take care of a large
Like you
portion of
said,
them
they're not
today.
getting paid.
We're good.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm not. Never mind. I'm not dipping my toe in this. This is not my problem.
If I may, it is your ship, and you are one of the captains.
I said I'm not dipping my toe in this. It's not my problem. You handle the gobbies. However you want to handle the gobbies.
Sounds about right.
I don't want to think about
hey,
the
what?
gobbies.
You know what the fuck do I know? I'm just one of the crewmates, one of the nameless crewmates. So don't worry about
What's
it.
your name?
Just
What is your name?
call me Jimbo, but you
What-
can call me Jim.
Do you prefer to be called Jim?
Well, if it's someone I know super well and they call me Jimbo, it makes me feel warm inside, like I've got friends and such.
Mm-hmm.
But
But you don't know me, so you prefer to go by Jim.
no, it's just you're looking at me sort of cross, and I feel like it won't be coming the same coming from you. And I feel
Jimbo, come on. It's fine. I'm just. The goblins frustrate me. I've got a lot on my plate, and I'm not in the mood to deal with, the rooming situation of the goblins. I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at the situation. That's all, Jimbo.
well, for what it's worth, Briggs has got some real interesting ideas about lowering our goblin population.
I'm not going to ask more questions about that because it sounds.
The term he uses is problem that solves itself.
Okay, we can stop right there.
Oh yeah.
Jimbo, go get yourself something to eat. Go get some fresh air. It's nice to meet you. Sorry that I didn't know your name before now.
It's okay, I'm new. I already got seconds, so I'm heading up now. Sorry I talked so much.
Nope, totally fine. Talk to us anytime. Get out of here, scamp. My finger guns.
You see him flinch, and then he just like pats his chest and he goes, "Oh, thought you were turning me to ash for a second.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much." And he turns around and like skips away.
Oi.
You do notice that you have not seen Nick.
Okay, well, okay. Cass, what's our next move?
So we go find Samugi. That's our next move. How we do it,
Okay.
we kind of got to figure it out. I vote whatever we do, we take a handful of goblins armed with explosives with us.
Well, I was just going to ask if we're trying to be discreet or not, but it sounds like not. Is that correct?
Well, it's not. Well, oh man, okay.
I mean, you mentioned
From
goblins.
what I
and
understand,
I'm fine with that.
discretion isn't exactly this group's strong suit. No offense.
I mean,
You watch as you watch as Dunsparrow just like takes like her morning coffee and just like raises her eyebrows as she like just like lifts it to her face.
so nice to meet you, Shar. It's been one day. Wow. Okay.
With that,
Well,
Dunsparrow pipes up and says, "To be fair,
not wrong.
she's not wrong. What I've seen is you tend to come in with a giant fucking skyship, guns blazing. I mean, you had it orbit above my family home while the entirety of Langston descended upon it. So, and then when you went after the guy, you flew the ship into a pile of other ships and just crash landed onto a fleet and then started scattering about the tops. You found him and got lucky by finding him and then presumably got lucky again by killing him.
Okay, well, one, I was
No,
very
come on.
angry that day, and two, I mean, you just talked about hurting people emotionally and physically. I'm just saying, I feel like, that's kind of the same vibes.
Well, I'm just trying to bring your newest crewmate up to speed.
Okay, got it. We're not very discreet.
Yeah,
And we're
discretion aside, what do we do?
I've never been to Hangul, so I don't know if we can just roll in guns blazing.
I mean, there's got to be a trail. Like, King Chedong coming back is gonna make some waves. So maybe we just go there and you can scry on him. So maybe we can get a general location.
Yeah? I mean, we can also just show up like a normal ship, you know, docking into port.
Yeah, I don't mean like flying guns blazing. I mean we just go there normally and we just find him. Like,
Side note, the Hangul dynasty is a mountain civilization that has like hollowed out an entire mountain. There definitely is no port and there is no sea trade.
Who knows that and who says that?
Cass would know this as you're having this conversation. This is actually, now that you all think about it, you all know this. This is kind of basic geography. It's one of the most notable things about the Hangul dynasty is that they're like closed off to trade, both geographically and culturally.
So they're not
So
like not really like a hospitable, welcoming kind of culture.
They're the exact opposite of that.
So Cass, remember when we went to break um Chalice out of prison and we just showed up
mm-hmm,
in Eigenstad
mm-hmm,
and they all looked at us like, "Oh wow, look at those weird group of people just in our city."
yep.
I'm trying to avoid that again. So if
Seems like
it
it could
sounds
happen.
like the same situation but with gnomes instead of dwarves.
It does sound like that a little bit, yeah. I can't do anything about that hiding us today. Um, but like, okay, but what if they're isolated, right? But it's not like they're barring people from, visiting their mountain region.
Are they? No, they might be.
So I will say this, Shar, they are absolutely like not open to visitors. Like there's no going in or leaving the Hangul dynasty. Um,
Mm.
that being said, the Under Tavern has connections to the smugglers of the Hangul dynasty. They smuggle things out. You know how to get a hold of them, and they constantly are like smuggling in products that they're able to get across um, the Koza Strait. So it stands to reason that like they would be able to smuggle people into for the right price, especially if you are aligned with the Under Tavern.
So perhaps an option here is that I can tap into my contacts at the Under Tavern, and we can see what they're charging to smuggle people in to the dynasty. And from that point, a little shape shifting should do the trick, and we should be able to roam freely. Are you all apt at shape shifting, I presume?
Yeah.
Wait, you can shapeshift?
I can to an extent. It will require some additional disguisery on top of that, but it should be enough to get us to be able to somewhat roam around once we're inside.
Yeah, if we do this tomorrow, I can get everybody in the party, and we'll be fine for the entire day. Um, we can all look like whatever we want.
I mean,
Probably
also,
Hangul gnomes.
Yeah, the variations of Hangul gnome, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be smuggled in to Hungel today. It's a ways away. So
I was just kind of thinking we'd teleport there.
well, I guess that's up to the smugglers.
Yeah, I will. I'll get in touch with my contacts. What's the closest city nearby?
We're still Dr. Newcastle.
To the closest city to the Hangul
Us
dynasty.
right now. No, us right now.
No, you're
New Callum?
basically in New Callum. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah,
I
I
will
mean, I
say you
can.
would have a sending stone that could get you in touch with your brother, who's exactly the type of person who could help you with this sort of thing.
Okay. So we could initiate this as soon as today if everyone is prepared to make the journey, are we?
Always prepared to end up on the other
Yep.
side of the world at a moment's notice.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I will start reaching out then, and I'll get back to you with what our options are.
Shar, before you leave, not to be speciesist, do you know Shitty Bill?
Or takes a deep breath. I do. And look, all I'm going to say is I wouldn't even consider him an associate. His reputation precedes him. I mean, at this point, who doesn't know Shitty Bill? The guy gets around.
I like you. Okay, great. Love it.
Or holds up her sending stone. I'm going to take this. And then just walks away.
Okay. So reaching out to Leon, I mean, he is he can get basically get a message to the smugglers, and he can work out a bargain with them that the guild can take care of on the back end, because they're all doing this basically by the order of Old Man Restore. So they can absolutely, if you make it basically to the north end of Karsus, so basically like north of the Dalmiri Desert, then they can get you into Koza and the Dynasty.
Okay. Great. How long of a journey is it up to Karsus? A couple days on our ship?
From the time it takes to get smuggled in would be a full day. To get there by skyship, you haven't done a ton of skyship travel, but you imagine probably pretty quick, depending on how this group wants to handle that.
Okay. Great. If Char's gonna wander about and if everyone's still hanging out at breakfast, which I'm assuming they are.
Yeah.
For now, yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the details. If we can get ourselves up to the north end of Karsus, I have some associates there that can smuggle us. It'll take about a day and change to be smuggled into the dynasty. Does that seem plausible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, how long does it take us to get to Karsus?
I mean, the
Or
north.
to the north of it.
Yeah.
We have a fast ship ish.
Yeah.
A day and a half, maybe two.
I'd say like a couple days at most, if we're flying in a ship, or we could do it the old school way if we.
I know some sea travel might be nice. No. We're not taking breaks right now. Sorry.
Okay. Very good. I will relay this to my brother, and he will make arrangements to be ready to accept us. And then Char gets back on the sending stone and starts talking.
Okay. So your message is sent. A rendezvous is set. It'll take you about a day and a half, like if you're going straight as the crow flies. For what it's worth, the you would get a heads up from Leon that the gnomes can get a little bit touchy about their surrounding airspace. And if you go past the Dalmiri Desert on a skyship, it might arouse some suspicion. Going by sea past that area puts you smack dab in the middle of the Kozanite hunting grounds. And traveling through the desert by foot and bringing a skyship anywhere near Alhadria brings another set of complications. If you swing around all the way north, you're passing where the smugglers are in the first place.
I'll kill some Kozanite pirates.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, we can destroy them. So let's be honest. What are they going to do to
Ruin
us?
their day. Absolutely ruin their day. Hopefully. Or they kill us, which
Okay.
Should we,
perfect.
if we're like taking the ship into battle, we should like cut down crew, right? Non-essentials off ship.
Yeah, non-essentials, restock our ammo.
Yeah.
Tell people that we're going to be sailing into Kozanite territory.
Yeah.
Put the iron plating back on.
That's the main reason I wanted to sail, is so it could be protected.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Sparrow.
Yeah, tell Leland and Nick and them that that's the plan. Oh, Danny.
Okay.
They're staying, for sure. Sparrow, is there any way, any control you have left over any of the sentinels?
No.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my father coming back was a big surprise to me, and it was clear that he had a bit of time to plot before he made himself known. So, sorry.
Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so I guess we go out. Do we want to just do a general restocking and all that kind of stuff for ship ammo? We have a lot of money, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could just tell whoever was cannoning, go get more. Here's money.
Yeah. Do it and make sure we get it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone's gonna stay on the ship. It's just goblins, a restaurant, and then regular ship people.
Yeah. It's mostly the restaurant.
Mostly the goblins.
Well, I mean, mostly the restaurant I want off.
Oh.
I definitely want the goblins.
I don't know if they're gonna get off.
Okay. So you alert the crew that you'll be preparing the ship for travel
And battle.
and battle. You see there's actually kind of like a general excitement to most of the crew. It seems like this is kind of what they got signed up for, and instead of just being like a taxi service for like, these awesome like spell slingers and, hammer swingers. Um, so yeah, there is a kind of jubilation to the air. You see Danny just like kind of nodding in anticipation, and he just goes, "All right, this will be." Hey, anybody see Nick?
Okay,
I
we
was
need
wondering
to
that too.
go to the
Either.
Briggs. I immediately go to the Briggs because now I'm actually scared.
I
Okay.
follow the cat.
You, as you're heading that direction, you hear like a faint like, "Hey, anybody?"
Oh God.
Um,
Yeah.
as you head your way down, you see Nick in the brig. He just goes, "Oh, hey."
Did you
Does he have a black eye or anything
Nope.
from his fall down the stairs?
He
That I don't know that.
No, he just has like a swollen nose.
Did you get that in the last battle?
Yep.
Good for you getting some action.
Yeah, you should see the other guys,
I'm sure they look worse.
or maybe they do look worse because they're freaking
They're
dead.
dead.
Yep.
Fist bump.
Put them in the ground,
Good job.
6 feet under.
Hey, we've been
Send them to
eating-
their gods.
Are you locked in here?
Yeah, I mean the key is right there. If you wouldn't just,
And you close the door.
I propped it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we hit some turbulence, and then my stool.
Turbulence reduct.
Yeah, I might have kicked it in my sleep.
All right. Well, that was a rookie. I unlock it for him.
And maybe we don't have to tell any of the crew about this, right?
Yeah, sure, I guess, maybe.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't
got my own room. Things have been going well. It's been a while since I fucked up. You can
No,
dock a
just-
week's pay. I'll do anything. Just this is
Keep
the
it
best job I've ever.
We'll
Okay,
keep
just-
it between us for now, and then we'll see. Maybe in the future.
Maybe a little blackmail. Keep it light, keep it fun. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get some dirt on us, then we'll
I'll-
have dirt on you, then
Look, I'll work twice as hard. I'll kill twice as many enemies to the icebreaker.
This is more fun.
I'll be just like the biggest team player.
I
right?
mean you already are kind of the biggest team player thing, so
Okay. Yeah, that's what I go for. Is like, I'm not the best at some things, but I just try to keep it up with the positivity and the
Mhm.
vibes, and just keep morale high.
mm-hmm.
Anyways, I am going to.
Go get some food.
Yep. And he
Mhm.
runs off.
Does he have Elhorn's hat on?
He left it in the brig.
Okay, perfect. As I go to close the door or whatever, I see it. I go pick it up. I never identified this thing. I don't know if it's magical, but I want to make sure if it isn't. And pull
Okay.
out my binocular thing. Wait.
Okay.
Telescope.
It is.
Oh shit.
Um. So. It just identifies as the hat of the one-eyed captain.
Oh.
It has a couple benefits. It is an attunement item, first off. It gives you a D4 bonus to Arcana checks, and any skill checks made regarding seafaring or navigation. Once per day, it allows one to cast the spell Control Weather without using a spell slot. And as you identify it, it has not been attuned for quite some time, which means that Nick has kind of just been wearing it on his head without actually realizing that it's a magical object.
Mm-hmm. I pick it up and I go. I just hold out as my hand as I walk back towards, everybody else or whatever. How bad of an idea is it, Sundara, to give Nick a magical item?
Ooh. How magical is it? Are we talking like chain lightning or?
Nothing too destructive. Control weather once a day.
Oh.
Listen, this might be fucked up, but I really like taking these crew members and like molding them in a certain way, Like maybe not corrupting, but
No, I can see where you're going with this. And if anyone on the crew controlled the weather, I think I'd probably be most comfortable with it being Nick. Now that I think about it.
there might be something to him being the youngest one. We'll see. We'll see how this works out.
I mean, I think as long as we keep the positivity going between us, like as captains and him, keep supporting him. Yeah. Like, let's not, none of us betray him, none of us stab him in the back, nobody talks shit about him behind his back. He's a great guy, he's a great kid. I think he'll go far in the crew.
The only one on this crew we're okay with betraying is Briggs, right? Everyone else.
I mean, I think the first time I met Briggs, I literally saw him stabbing Varric in the neck, so yeah. Totally fine with that.
Cool. I'm gonna go back to Nick, find him when he's eating, or wherever the hell he is, and just nestle the hat on top of his head and like push it down.
Oh,
Got
yep,
that.
thanks. Forgot about my hat.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Next time you get a chance, Nick, just really take some time to be alone with this hat. It is the hat of Elhorn, after all.
Yeah, you mention it. I specifically don't like being alone with this hat because every time I am, I swear I almost get like distant memories of like a seafaring captain that's like calling out to like a dark god, and then there's this like thing coming out of the ocean. I see tentacles, and I immediately just take it off.
Oh, okay. On second thought, yeah. I'll hold on to this for you.
No, I mean, I don't mind because all I do is I take it off, and then if I put it on and just don't think about it, I can usually just push it out into the periphery of my mind.
It's a dangerous game you're playing. I'll just put it on the table next to him.
Yeah, he puts it on his head. Anyways, and he turns back over and he sees talking to, funnily enough, the maitre d'. He's like, yeah, no, I never said that. I never told her. No.
I whispered to Cass, did we just give him a cursed hat? Is he cursed? Is this man cursed on our ship and controlling the weather?
I don't think he's cursed because I think he's running away from it. Again, we'll see how it plays out. It's fun, right? Don't tell anybody.
What?
Our secret. Shh. If someone else finds out, I'll know it's you.
Yes. Jesus. Okay.
Okay. Any other preparations you'd like to make?
Yes, buy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, we need to buy stuff.
What sort of stuff are we talking?
I want normal cannon ammo. We have one. At least that's what we have written down. But then I also want like some extra special. Just like 2, maybe 3, depending on how expensive. Extra special explosive ammunition. And then the rest,
Okay.
I think, like, I don't know how much. We probably can't get any repairs done that quickly.
Depends on how much you're willing to pay. So,
How messed up is like what is the HP bar of our ship?
it's right now I would call it serviceable.
Okay.
You don't have any damage that is like critical to fix. You have a couple clockwork parts that, if basically I'd put it this way, like if you run the ship really heavily, you can have some system failures.
Should we buy some spare clockwork scrap? If that's a thing we can buy?
The issue is that you don't have Samugi to help with the repairs.
Hey, Sandara, time to step up.
Sandaria, you know the ship pretty intimately. The clockwork parts you're familiar with. It's more like, yeah, and then between like Leland and some of the rest of the crew, yeah, you could probably get this done.
Have I entice Solomon to come and fix it?
I mean, best ask Solomon.
Let's get the clockwork bits. Okay, so ammo, clockwork bits, and then repairs?
I mean, I think if it's serviceable, if nothing's critical, I'm fine riding it out.
Because we can repair on the way. If you're cool with that.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to be repairing the ship as it's flying in the sky.
We're gonna be floating in the sea, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, you can repair it while it's floating in the sea, sure, but yeah.
Okay, so two things. One, I will send a message to Solomon with the Palantir, and the other thing is, I think I'm gonna try and scry on Samugi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think it's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Do you have anything of his? Can we go in his room and find a possession?
Oh yeah, let's. Yeah, he's got a whole room.
I'll tell you one thing.
Although I guess it's not Samugi, it's
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
um, right. Okay. So I think it's just a straight roll. Because I have first-hand knowledge of the target, so that's a 0. And I don't have anything of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it is a wisdom saving.
Okay. The spell fails.
The spell failed.
Well,
He's a wise guy, I guess.
if we get to within 1,000 feet of him, I can look for the crown. But that's about as good as my sonar is.
Has anybody been to Hongul before? Because we could also scry on locations, but I've never been there.
One of the few places
Are
I
you having
also.
Are you having this conversation out loud with like around the rest of the crew?
I think so. Well, I think Cass and I are standing on the deck.
Yeah, we're on the.
Talking?
I'd say we're on the deck. Yeah.
Okay. With that, Nick Danny kind of creeps by and just goes, so I don't think I was supposed to say anything about this, but Samugi took a trip to the Hangul Dynasty.
Okay.
Okay.
And you went with him?
Nope.
No. But spit it out, Danny.
Sorry, I just overheard someone say, "Did anyone go?" And Smoogie did before he disappeared.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's relevant information to you, but
Did anybody go with him?
he took a different crew.
Oh. Did you bring anything back?
I can. I don't know. I guess you could search his room and see.
Got it.
I feel like that information was not as helpful as I thought it would be.
I mean, it was. I appreciate it. Thank you.
He also fished out some crown out of.
Yeah, see, now that would have been helpful like a week ago. For sure.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly if he was trying to hide it or what, but when he went with an outside crew, I kind of did some snooping around, and then I just, at some point, was like, what am I doing? It's none of my business, and I kind of let it be.
Yeah. I mean, he did tell us eventually, but that sort of stuff, I don't know about you, Cass. I love to be on the inside of that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so then if you do some like sneaky, shady stuff,
Yes, go
just
ahead and just
spout out all
tell
your
Cass.
business.
100%, yes. Or Varric.
That doesn't apply for
Don't
me.
know her yet, but
Okay. Yeah. So this is getting complicated.
what's complicated?
Yeah, just I don't know what to do. So, anyways, oh, what's that?
Danny? Wait, Danny? Danny,
Just
come
like,
back here.
he starts walking away.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I feel like we need to have like a staff meeting or something, but I have so much on my mind that I don't even want to think about it.
We need a moment of peace. God damn it. We were supposed to have
Yes,
a
that's-
moment of peace, and there was none.
With that, you watch as Briggs marches over and he just goes, "All right, goblins are packed, ready to go. I think we're just teetering over the weight limit, but I think I kind of got him in a sweet spot. But we're gonna have to get this puppy rolling. So where are we sending him?"
The weight limit of what?
Okay.
Well, I assume you need them to be able to walk.
Okay. Okay. Sandara, do me a solid here. This is stupid, but I want to do it. Are we all prepared? Have we gotten all of our supplies and repairs and all that shit? Can we set sail, or do we still need to do all that?
You didn't do repairs, but you have everything you need for them.
Okay, not repairs, sorry. Okay, let's set sail north. Get out of the docks, get out of the bay. Drop trow, metaphorically, on the ship. Take to the sky. Gently coast over the factory. And let loose. How many?
We got 18.
Let loose 18 goblins packed to the brim, inside and out. And then we just sail away, pick up our pants, and go do what we're doing. Leave them to deal with it. A little gift from the remnants.
Oh. Yeah?
I love it. Those gnomish tinkerers won't know what hit them.
Well, okay. Cass, would you
They're working
wildly
for him, right?
object to just one quick warning shout before we blow up the entire factory? Just give him a chance to evacuate.
I've got the perfect thing.
Is it a bomb?
I guess.
Are you gonna use a bomb as a warning? A warning bomb?
Yeah, you do the first one, then you launch the other 17.
Honestly, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay, I was gonna send a message to somebody, but I like that idea.
That's probably a better idea. Please do. Actually,
Okay.
there's probably the sending stone in Samugi's room because he worked there.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go check. Does Samugi have a sending stone?
Yeah, he's got like a sending stone to the managers.
Jessica nodded yes. That's all the confirmation I need.
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely did. And it's just been sitting in his pocket waiting for the right moment, which apparently is now, so
Okay.
unfortunately.
I will start moving the ship in Cass's directed manner so that he gives the warning and we drop the bombs pretty much immediately after.
Okay.
I'm not going to think about the goblin loss of life.
Okay. As you're having that conversation, you see all these goblins are like on the side of the ship, just like holding on to the mast, and you watch as Briggs has a vest on himself, and he's just like pacing back and forth, and he just says, "Today is the day that you boys turn into men. I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of you won't be making it back. Nailing the timing on these inversion beads is tricky, and I'll be honest, I've been dropping the ball when it comes to practice. That being said, there's not much more to say. Other than, it has truly been an honor being your captain. All right, boys." And he looks at Leland, and he just goes like, "We good to go?" And Leland just like rolls his eyes and looks at you all like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?"
I look over to Cass.
Today is my day to be James. Yes. We are doing this thing. When we
With
are
that,
600, tell me when we're 600 feet away, I am going to do a thing though.
with that, he just kind of like looks out in the distance and just goes, "Well, looks like Samugi's quitting this job." And then he kind of like jumps over the side and he just goes, "Tang, you're up first." And he just like grabs him by the explosive vest and like pulls him in. And then he just like whispers something to him in Goblin. And then you watch as like he just takes like this hard helmet, like puts it on and like clips it, and you watch as like Briggs just like smashes the top of the helmet twice and just goes, "Go, go, go." And then yeah, he just looks, he takes the mask and like hangs down over it as Tang just jumps, and he just screams down
Wait, we're
just to
there?
the city. Yep.
Hold on, I wanted to be 600 feet away before we arrived.
You're higher than that. They're like skydiving down.
Oh shit. However high up above the city we are, Cass uses thaumaturgy to let out a gnarly power cord and project his voice up to 600 feet. um, and he just says, "Afternoon, citizens of the factory down there. Run while you still can." That's it.
Um, Without any projection, you hear Briggs just go, "That's right, bitches. This is for Samugi. Consider this your severance package." And with that, you watch as he just screams, "Go, go, go!" And the first one just like drops, and he like starts off in a cannonball, and then goes into like this like dive formation where he like is angling his nose down and his arms behind him, and he's actually like like
Glorious.
just like cutting through the air. And you watch as he makes it like before the first bomb hits. He goes, "I say that's enough of a warning. How about you boys? Go, go, go!" And then the rest of them just start like leaping off. Um, so we're gonna roll to see how many of them time their inversion beads.
We have become terrorists. I mean, we were
We were
kind of already terrorists,
already
but we
terrorists.
definitely are in terrorist category now.
Hey, sometimes you blow up an orphanage and it's really bad. Sometimes you just blow up a factory and it's like kind of bad, so it's not that bad, right?
I mean, we have not blown up an orphanage, right?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, oh no.
Okay. So you watch as Tang, as he flies down, there's actually no explosion. There's just a goblin splattering against the rooftop. of the factory.
Oh no.
You vaguely see like a couple people like just little dots like exit the factory and just like look up. You see like a couple people pointing, and there's just like this general confusion. Um, out of the second ones,
I can't find music appropriate for this.
you you have 3 additional misfires.
Oh.
Um,
Not only are we terrorists, we're bad at it.
um, and then out of the rest of them, there are 12 explosions that hit the factory. You don't know as to the exact extent of the damage.
Don't care.
8 of the goblins make it back. And 6 of them, their flight was a little too long. So the inversion bead just got them back up about like 500 feet in the air, where they then plummeted to their deaths, just kind of like causing a rain of corpses. And with that, as all the goblins like look around, there's 8 of them just like looking terrified. One of them being Briggs, and just goes, "Divers, well fucking done, better than we practiced." And everyone's like, "Ah!" And everyone's clapping.
Okay.
And he watches, he goes over and he starts like smacking their helmets. He's like, "Great dive, great dive."
We're a force to be reckoned with, Sandara. Wipe away that guilt.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's get out of here. How damaged does the factory look?
Where's my... Looking over it, it looks like a negligible amount of damage has been done. I will say there is clearly a gathering outside, and it looks like there is a lot of activity. You get the sense this did not come without a loss of gnomish life.
Well, we'll do better next time.
Mm-hmm.
With that, Briggs like sees the disappointment on your face and just goes, "I think we packed them tight enough, but perhaps I think we just need more powder."
Hey, you're
Figure
the
it out,
chemist.
Briggs.
Yeah.
More damage, less collateral loss.
I mean, you're asking for the impossible. You can't have one without the other. The trick is finding the sweet spot
Okay,
where
well,
you
this
justify
was
the
not
collateral
sweet
loss
spot.
with the damage.
Sure, we didn't even make it there. Okay, a lot of room for improvement.
Yes.
We believe in you.
I'm sorry, boss.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Be better.
Well, yep. And by better, bigger.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yep. Maybe maybe we can hit him again on the way back.
Sure.
Okay.
Laura just shakes her head.
All right. You heard us. You heard it, boys. First thing tomorrow, we're practicing. We're gonna start with a good old-fashioned 4-4-2 formation.
No, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this.
Okay. Perfect.
Think about it. All right. Let us get out of the city.
Yeah.
Since we have finished terroristing.
Yep.
And head north.
Okay. So that you begin to make your way north. how exactly what's your route here? Like, because if you go a straight shot, you'll basically, I guess you'll be cutting like west of the Dalmiri Desert
Mm-hmm.
and then just like straight to the tip of the island where you're gonna land and go by sea the rest of the way.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, hold on though. Don't we need to get the ship to the northern point of Karsus, and then we're being smuggled in to Koza?
Yes.
So we don't
Yeah.
need to. So I thought we were sailing to the northern point. Or are we flying to the northern point and then just chilling there, and then being smuggled?
Well, it sounds like you were gonna kind of do a hybrid of either strategy where you fly basically over land to like the west of the meeting place, and then sail
Oh,
so that
okay.
you're not being like conspicuous that close to the dynasty.
Okay.
I
So
thought we were sailing the whole way.
It's up to you. Sailing the whole way is like a pretty roundabout, because you have to basically, if you're sailing, you have to go like almost like southeast or southwest to then go all the way around to make it north.
But any sort of flying, we have to drop off our dark iron.
yeah.
Yes.
Which would be nice to have.
It would if you were expecting to get into the scuttle. Sailing, your best bet is going like east first. If you're sailing all the way around with that dark iron, that's probably like a 3-day journey.
I mean, are we in a rush?
It's just the meeting time. I guess we can have it rearranged, or just say it's appropriate
yeah.
to
For this month.
the sailing time that we said. Yeah, I vote sail there the whole way.
I was gonna say, I'd kind of want to sail the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay. The foreseen possible issues is that brings you in close proximity to Langston,
What if we go east?
which that is to the east.
Or, oh, what the hell?
Go west.
But then west.
If you go west, you're talking about like a 7-day journey.
Oh god.
Ew.
But going east, it's not just Langston you got to
I
worry
mean-
about, because like those waters are also more densely populated by some of the big sea abominations you have to worry about. So it's like pretty dangerous waters all around. And also the waterway that's outside the Serpent Lord Shrine is like a notorious spot where ships just randomly go missing.
Man.
I mean, you guys made that trek once.
Yeah.
And it mostly went okay.
Yeah. God. Okay. I say risk it. Go east.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Taking.
I was leaning that.
Yeah, taking a week is way too long. Flying is.
Yeah.
And we need the armor.
Yeah.
So.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Before we go further, can we get our ship inventory, just like mainly the special ammunition and how much like all that stuff costs?
Yeah. Let's sort that out. So, well,
Um,
here's the thing.
Pierce, could you update or write it down? I don't have access right now.
The sheet? Yeah, I got it.
Any special ammunition, you're going to need to actually make yourself, because this ship is basically like proprietary. Like Solnor didn't build this to use like not his materials. So you can't just use like regular cannons and stuff like that. It's all gonna be with his stuff.
Is
Your
it
phone just
stuff?
died? Oh, do you want to plug it in?
I don't. Your iPhone.
So this would involve a skill check, likely by Sandara.
I can do that.
Well, first off,
Can I?
how much are you? Yeah.
Well,
Can
can,
I?
sorry.
Can I try before just to like, because we can always buy the scrap parts so you can make it, but can I try to see if there's anything in the black market, like real quick asking around if
Or give me a unskilled charisma check. I guess it'd be like a jack of all trades kind of situation.
unskilled no 7.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so the
I
scrap
mean,
parts.
you ask around the black market, and it doesn't change the fact that literally this is a one of a kind ship that there'd be no you just can't go aftermarket with this.
Okay, sorry. Yep.
The USB-C.
Yeah.
I might not be able to help. Yeah, I can't. Okay. With that, um, um, let's see. Yeah, so making explosive ammunition, this would probably be an endeavor that would take the skill set of Sandara, Clagger, and Briggs. So this is like a multi-tiered skill check. Because you've actually never done this either. So you're trying to like invent something on the spot. And I'll say the most efficient way to do this is probably to buy all the materials and then set out and make it on the way. Or do you want to like spend a couple days here to like try to sort this out?
I think we buy it and figure it out on the way. If we fail and it's a waste of money, then that's is what it is.
Okay, so let's have. I'll first do a skill check for my two NPCs, and then Sandara will give me an Arcana check. To try to do like the estimation part of what you need.
Can I hands behind the back, like Grandpa over the shoulder, bardic inspiration, Clagger, or Briggs, either.
Sure. That's a D10 for both.
It's a D. Oh, just one. I can only do one.
Okay. Okay. So I'll say you give it to Briggs. Okay. So how much ammunition are you aiming for?
Just two.
Just 2 shots?
Two of like this special high explosive shot. Yeah, I just wanted a couple.
Okay, and then you want it to be like pretty high impact. Like you want it to what? Like just blow up a ship?
I want it to like bust down a castle wall. Like
Okay.
into powder.
Okay, breaching slugs. Got
Yes.
it. Okay. Okay. Um so really you're probably sitting down with Clagger to talk about this. He's like, "Oh, I do love a challenge." Well,
I was thinking if we put something like heavy inside of it, it could like hit and then continue going and just kind of push through whatever, you know.
that's a simplistic way to approach it, but it's not wrong. Basically, the way I would approach this is it's not like a typical cannonball. You actually need a primed charge that is directional. Within that charge, you have a smaller charge with a piston and a triggering unit inside itself that then detonates the inner core.
Uh,
That makes sense?
it made more sense in my head. I think this is where you got to start talking to Sandara or somebody else.
Well, but she's not here, is she? So it's part of my process to just bounce it off you. Just
Yeah,
nod.
yeah, no, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, some of the clockwork materials that should be pretty cheap. The explosive powder that can be a little pricey, and I think you'll probably want to buy a little extra because we'll be making it on the fly just in case we have any mishaps. From my end, give me 24,000.
Clagger. I mean, we haven't. Uh, do you take banknotes?
Yeah. I mean, if you're good for it, it's not if I take it, it's whether or not the black market takes it, which they will. My guy will, anyways.
It's, well, no, this is a serious question because I don't want to fuck you over. Does your black market friends, would they take money in Elhorn's name that may or may not be legal to be circulated?
I mean, if you don't own the banknote,
So no. Okay.
We'll give him double.
Of banknotes?
Yeah.
You know what? Just in case it doesn't work, 100,000
Oh my god.
banknotes in Elhorn. Too much? You're not here, but disembodied voice I hear. Too much?
Disembodied voices in our. Oh my god.
75,000
look,
banknotes in Elhorn's name.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a thief, so however you want to do business, I suggest perhaps you then seek out your own vendor.
Well, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Now above the table, do you guys care about gold? Like, do you have anything you want gold for? We have 25,000 in platinum worth of gold, but then we have like 16, 20 gems. We have like 30,000 in gems and stuff. But the gold is like, do you care? Input? Thoughts?
How much do we? I don't. How much do we have total?
We have 28,000 or 25,000 gold worth of platinum, but then we have like 30,000, 40,000 of various gems, antiques, embroidered stuff.
And he wants 24,000.
Yeah.
What?
Dude just nailed that guy's car and drove off.
Nice.
Ooh, classy.
At an intersection, or was he parked?
And he reading down the. Did you get it?
That's all I got.
I was trying to remember it too, and
The ADHD kicked in.
yeah, I just got caught up in the moment. Okay. Sorry, where were we?
I don't remember.
We were talking money. I mean, I'm not particularly opposed to it. We kind of, yeah,
Pull the trigger.
We gotta spend money to make money. Might as well spend it. Otherwise, we'll just hold
Yeah.
on to it forever.
yeah.
Most money I've ever had in any D&D campaign, like probably combined. So might as well spend it. Pull the trigger.
Okay, so with that, first off, Clagger needs to clarify some details. So this is to be put in a cannon, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you specifically want it to be fired from the ship.
Could something be made to fit in Varric's portable thing? Because I thought that was a smaller type of cannon. But if it's the same kind of cannon,
You would have to build an entire custom cannon for this, and it would basically turn it into the explosive itself. So basically, he brings you a design This is going to up the price a little bit, and it would be a one usage thing where basically it's a cannon that's got like 4 legs coming off of it that you basically mount onto a wall that puts the like barrel of the cannon flush with the wall you're trying to bring down. The legs of the cannon are coated in sovereign glue so they won't come off, and it basically like puts the cannon flush with the wall. You detonate it and then it goes off and the whole device is going to destroy itself. But it's like a one use thing that you could stick in like a portable hole, and it's like a mounted like breaching charge.
You say it has legs. Can it move? Is it autonomous, or is it literally a C4 breaching charge?
It's a C4 breaching charge
Okay.
with like a quadrupod mount that you need someone extremely strong to like heave and place onto the wall.
How much more would that increase the price?
It depends on how many you try to make. So basically with the 24,000, you've got enough for 4 attempts. So if they all go well, you have 4 of them.
Okay. I want to
That's
do
just
that
for
one.
the ammunition though. Well, that's just for the ammunition though. And that's like that doesn't change if it comes with like a firing mechanism or not. With the firing mechanism, that's probably going to add another 8,000 on top of that.
Too expensive. I ain't that rich. Cannonballs. Cannonballs
Okay.
all the way.
Now,
I'm
you
stealing his blueprints, so.
you could cheap out and not do any extra materials and just aim for making less, because he prices you for making for 4 attempts, which means you could possibly get 4 of these.
Do we have an estimate on how much damage these would do, or how
I want the breaching
what sort of
charge.
structures these would be able to?
As you inquire, he would just look at you and just go, "Fucking devastating."
Alright, it's an experiment, so cheap out on the ingredients. If you make me 1, I will be happy.
Mm.
You want me to cheap out on the ingredients?
Listen, I don't want. Well, how? An extra 8,000. He said. For the 4
Well,
attempts for all the for the materials to build without cheaping out.
you
and
only
stuff.
need what? You only need 1.
I'm fine if he just makes me 1. Yes.
Okay, let's do this. 16,000, 2 attempts.
You got a deal, sir. I got to do math.
And with that, he just goes, and just consider the possibility that one of these breaching charges blows up the whole fucking world.
Oh.
God, we need to get an onboard therapist.
Yeah, if this crew ever goes bad, we are the threat.
Yeah.
Are we the bad guys? Okay.
Yes.
16,000. I marked it. 2 attempts.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Okay. So Clagger, Briggs, and Sundar are getting together. Montage music. Sundar, give me an Arcana check.
Montage music.
Yes. I'm going to say the combined DC of this is going to be 55.
Oh, okay.
22.
Okay. Briggs is rolling with a +8. Ooh. That's a 24 for Briggs.
Nice.
Okay. We're at 46.
Wow.
Okay. So you literally just need a 9. Clagger is going to be rolling with a Arcana check that is also a +8. Okay. So the first one is successful.
All right. All we need, baby.
Do you want to proceed with the second?
I will leave that up to to the ones risking their lives potentially doing it. So I have
Their Clagger and Briggs are like looking for any excuse because he's like, "All right, that should do it, but I think we can make it bigger."
Sandara loves making stuff like this, so please.
All right, so give me another roll.
18. Ugh.
Okay, +8 for Briggs. Another 24 for Briggs.
Gosh,
Go Briggs.
Briggs.
So you're at 42?
Yep.
Okay, so you need a 13, right?
Okay, again,
From
risk
Clagger?
55? Yeah.
I'll say if you get above a 63, it'll have additional effects.
We like that.
That's a 20 from Clagger. So just missed it.
60.
Okay. All right. So you have 2 functional breaching charges. And what they do is there's like these little like screw cap legs that literally like screw on that cover up the sovereign glue pads underneath. So basically you like unscrew the little things and then it's just like impossibly sticky. So with that, it's been made. You have these 2 abominations. I'll be honest. What can you even fit in the portable hole?
So all of the bank stuff, so all of our gem money and all that's in the bank. And
Okay.
then so like in the hole we have just like mostly bottles of stuff.
What's the size limitation?
Oh, the actual size limitation. I believe it's 500 pounds. Let me check.
Is it a weight or a size? Because this is a matter of bulk.
It is 10 feet deep. That's it. That is literally the only size, it
Right.
unfolds
I'm
into
gonna tell you
silver
this.
sheet,
You
feet
can
diameter.
you can only fit one of these in the portable hole.
Okay.
And you look at the other one, like they're like you watch as Clagger and Briggs are just like revering this thing because it looks friggin' terrible. It's basically like this thing standing up on 4 legs with a like mounted cannon that is like the 5th leg with the barrel pointed down.
We'll leave
You're
it
just
on the
looking
shelf.
at it like. You watch as Clagger kind of like, as they're both revering this object, he turns to Briggs and he just goes, "I'll be honest. I always thought you were a bit of an idiot, but you're an artist, mate. It's fucking beautiful."
That's what we like to see. Making beautiful things, making beautiful friendships. I will be shoving that big ass thing into the portable hole just unceremoniously.
Yeah,
Taking
you have to like
one,
tip it over.
folding up the hole.
Yeah, you see both of them going whoa, 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 and it just like tips over and like falls into the hole, and like you watch as they just like duck down and like look around just to see if anything blows up. Okay, it's in the hole.
Not the smartest idea.
All right, you
Way to
gambled
go.
and you came out on top.
Yeah,
So with that, you are making your way to the east around the island. As you do so, you will you left in the morning, so you'll make it to the waters around Langston by about noon. Jessica, will you kindly roll a d12 for me?
3.
Perfect. Okay. So, um, with that, um, as you are rolling your, what's Star doing right now?
As we approach Langston on the ship,
I assume you're kind of giving it a wide berth.
Char is just kind of on the deck hanging out.
Okay. Just curious. Okay. You're just hanging out, having a good time. Um,
I
with
wouldn't go
your
that far,
passive
but
perception, you happen to notice there's a couple ships out and about that are kind of leaving you alone. In the distance, it looks like there are a few basically like whaling ships that tend to like more hunt like the leviathans and things like that. You notice 3 of them begin to kind of they're moving towards like the area ahead of you, like not quite cutting you off, but like they're far enough ahead where they're not cutting you off, but they're now drifting into your lane.
I was gonna find Sundara and just kind of point out what's happening and mention that, hey, I just saw these ships suspiciously move into the path of our ship. And I don't think we're really in friendly waters, if you catch my drift.
I will try and reroute us to move. So yeah, they move in front of us, and I will like try and go further away from Langston around them
Okay.
and see what they do.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
26.
Okay. As soon as you do, you notice that these ships, you kind of break away and are headed now like directly east.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so basically just away from the island of Karsus.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that all 3 of these ships just flat out break east, more clearly like announcing themselves as like attempting to intercept right now. So you're now moving parallel all to the east, kind of away from your destination. Right now, you're flush with the one that is like the furthest east, which seems to be, which isn't like the biggest vessel.
How far away from our ship are they?
God, they are. If you went directly for them, you'd reach them in about like 2 minutes. So they're like about a mile out.
I will tell the crew. I will like just alert the ship to like prepare for battle, like as if we had one of those cool little wee woo sirens.
Okay.
And I'll ask Cass to get ready to send them a message if possible from their distance, from however far apart we are.
Yeah.
Char kind of approaches Sundara again and goes, "Hey, this ship, like, it goes up, right?"
I look at Shar and like she has like a smile, like a not a menacing smile, but like one that you're not expecting to see on Sundara. This ship does a lot of things. And I'll start turning the ship so that instead of being parallel, that we are perpendicular to them.
Yes.
And then I update
So
Cass.
going north or south?
North, so facing them.
Okay, so you're headed towards them as they're going.
Yeah, I'll just turn and then stop. I won't move towards them.
Okay.
But I turn the ship so that we're facing them.
Okay. So these ships are faster than your ship,
Mm-hmm.
On water at least. So they are going to make a hard turn south and one is headed directly toward you.
Mm-hmm.
One is going to your eastern flank, and one's going towards your western flank.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say now they're about a half mile out.
I tell Cass, do you want to give them a warning, or should I just fire on them?
Oh, yeah, well, at least let me try. Half a mile.
I'll say,
Is that
as you
within
look,
range of the cannon?
it looks like they are flying the flags of the Rust Alley Whalers.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
boy.
Tell them we like them, and I would hate to
Sandara, hold off on
blow up their
firing.
shit, but I'll do it.
Are those the guys that we went Leviathan hunting with?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will wait until they get within range of thaumaturgy voice if they do not announce themselves as peaceful.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Can I use my identifying telescope as an actual telescope? Or
Sure,
is it...
for flavor.
Oh, I mean like function. Like, it makes sense that
Yeah.
would give you advantage. Oh, that's not flat. Hold on.
Reyna literally had an object that did that,
Okay.
but you do not.
Perception. That's a 14, I believe. Yes, 14.
Okay. As you are looking through your spyglass, they're now about a quarter mile out. You watch as all three of these ships are clad in with this like weird looking clockwork harpoon gun that does not match any other like accoutrements of the ship. The sailors on board don't really look like similar to the Rust Alley Whalers that you've seen.
Are they wearing their uniforms, or
They're just wearing like the Rust Alley Whalers didn't really have uniforms. They were just kind of like all dressed little Oliver Twisty. These ones are kind of just dressed like in tattered like pirate attire.
okay. I I'll send a message back to Sandara in your head. I'm not sure these are the Rust Alley Whalers. I'll let you make the judgment call to fire. When they get within range, I'll give them a warning. You can fire now, though.
How about I'll angle?
Give them a warning shot.
So there's at least one ship that's facing us directly, so I'll angle a little bit to the left or right and, yeah, do a warning shot. Like a, hey, whoa.
Okay. So you're angling like a little left of the main ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So go ahead and you fire your warning shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me another Arcana check. The DC is just 13.
21.
Okay. So you place it where you want to. And you're just firing with the Eldritch Lance.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, there's like this like huge like dragon cannon thing that's coming out the front, and it's not like a typical cannon. You just hear this whining sound and this like charging up, and there's this like diffuse static throughout the ship, and you watch as like a couple of the goblins slowly begin to like levitate like a couple inches off the ground, and they just start like swatting at the air. And then there's this like as that high pitched sound, almost like a supercharger, just gets like almost unbearably loud. It just turns into complete silence, and you just realize like everything around you, you're just completely deafened. And there's a brief like flash of light, and you just watch as this like charge of blue energy just like flies across the like across the skyscape and does not change its angle at all. Like it literally just like flies out, and then you literally can see as like the curvature of the like planet begins to like separate itself from like the hit scan projectile that you just shot.
Some poor planet.
Yeah, that's
In
The planet
50
buster.
million years just gets hit.
You watch as the ships accelerate, and there is a second set of flags that just like drops, covering up the Rust Alley Whalers flags, and it is just like a stereotypical like skull and crossbones. And at the front, you see like hanging at a mast, holding out a cutlass. You just see a black tabaxi that is just like just holding a blade forward
all right.
with determination in his eyes.
That's what
And with that, we are going to pick up next week.
Gosh.
He's
Let's
gotten
kill
away
this
with
guy.
it for too long. Yeah, I agree.
This dude straight up. Betray us
Before
for the
we-
third or fourth time. I don't even know.
Too many
Oh no.
countdowns apart.
This is not Shitty Bill.
Oh no.
No, it is not. This is the
can I add-
legend of Captain Oliver Goddamn Bentley.
Oh, he's back.
Remember
He
Oliver
did say he was
Bentley?
gonna come for us like 60 sessions ago
This is the Tabaxi captain that you left stranded
on the islands, and he
on
said,
the island outside Koza.
and he cursed our ship.
Oh my god.
Can I
The longest
can I add to
wait that
Shar's
you've ever-
inventory like a rope that I found on the ship?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay.
Wow.
Exciting. I finally get to update his page.
I can't believe you remembered.